We got a big story that we're just putting up on the website right now.
Yeah, there is a third arrest in the Mac Miller death investigation, and from the documents that the feds have, it seems like they have the guy who was,
the ringleader.
If not the kingpin, he was certainly the supplier of the drugs that Mac took, that the fatal overdose that he took. The latest arrest is a guy named Stephen Walter. Stevie, he goes by Walter, according to the feds. And they arrested him on Monday for conspiracy to distribute.
And the way this kind of breaks down, Charles, is there's text messages and everything that kind of outline this thing. Mac Miller first went to a guy, his last name is Pettit. He asked Pettit if he had any pills. Pettit let him know that he could get some blues, which we've learned mean Percocets now in this whole case. Pettit then went to Walter, who's this new arrest, said, hey, I need these. They're for Mac Miller.
So he said they're for Mac Miller.
He let it known that he needed these pills, yes.
Yeah, but he mentioned Mac to, Pettit mentioned Mac to Walter?
It appears that somehow the two of them knew that this is what it was for, or who it was for.
Right.
From there, Walter said, yes, I can get you 10 of these blues. He had a runner bring them to Pettit. Pettit then brought them to Mac.
So Pettit's the middleman in this thing, and Walter, according to the feds, is the supplier.
Correct, yes, according to these docs. And it kind of details a little bit more into the death scene. When investigators went to Mac Miller's house, they say they found blue powder on a magazine. It had looked like it had been crushed up by a gift card. And if you remember, these blue pills were the Percocets. And they say that they recovered 6 of the 10 blue pills at that death scene, making you believe he may have taken 4 of them.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right. And
4 Percocets.
Now, but there were also, remember, they said there were these Percocets, did they say anything about them being laced with fentanyl?
They don't say anything about that in these documents.
But didn't the coroner say that?
I thought the coroner said fentanyl was
I think the coroner said that too, that they were. I mean, I don't know that it would matter necessarily for the charging document, but my recollection was that this was laced with fentanyl. Isn't it yours?
Yeah, I think that they had also mentioned there was cocaine, oxycodone. I think that they had said several different pills. Yeah.
Now, Pettit,
so we said Pettit was the middleman,
was also he was also arrested.
Right. Pettit was arrested a couple of weeks ago.
So this is 3 people now.
And then earlier this week was a guy named Rivas. Who is Rivas in this, Brad?
So Rivas is the guy who brought the pills from Walter to Pettit. He's the runner in this whole thing, who brought the 10 blue pills after Pettit wanted them from Walter. Walter sent Rivas, and then Pettit took those pills and brought them to Mac.
Wow. It is, we were talking about this when we were talking about Rivas's arrest, that the fact that they believe that they were able to track down 3 people, the whole chain, basically, of people that they believe.
They spent a lot of time in this case.
They really did.
They really spent a lot of time in this case, and this was DEA, FBI,
and
it was
guys,
a state.
Pettit knew he was in trouble. The day of Mac's death, he was texting friends saying he was sad, but he's worried. And he also texted a friend one of our stories about Demi Lovato's dealer who was arrested on a separate charge and said, I'm afraid that this might happen to me.
That is interesting.
He saw that story.
That is interesting.
Wow.
And he sent that around?
There's a text exchange between him and one of his friends, and that's what he sent to the friend.
Wow.
Wow, he was right, too.
Yeah, he was. He actually knew exactly what he was talking about when he saw that. So all 3 men now in custody, and
we don't know if there are more, but 3 is a lot, and it's interesting. They've got the middleman, they've got the runner, and they've got the kingpin. I was going to say the runner, the middleman. The runner is like, you would never get this. I'll buy you lunch if you can remember who this is.
Who?
Daniel Segretti.
Was the runner in? I have no idea which case.
Watergate. It's a whole thing.
Ray Mills, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm really happy that they get these guys off the street because they help contribute to young, a great artist's death. And so I'm really happy that they didn't just let this case fall by the wayside. They really looked into it. They really, are taking these guys off of the street because they're killing the community. They're killing our artists. They're killing our people.
Yeah. But boy, you're right. They spent a lot of time in this case.
You remember, this is exactly what Ariana Grande, after they arrested Pettit, said that she hopes that they get everyone involved, and maybe that's come true.